So, Johan, 27. Wait, do I have the right? Did they redo this? Hold on a second. This can't be right.
Well, now it's 27.
Wait, no. For safety reasons, the time trial has been shortened from 27 kilometers to 12 kilometers.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, wow.
Whoa.
That changes
Holy
everything.
Smokes. Everybody, welcome back to the Move Plus. I'm Spencer Martin. I'm here with Johan Bruyneel. We are breaking down stage 17 of the Vuelta a España, won by 21-year-old Giulio Pellizzari, with Tom Pidcock second, Jai Hindley third, Jonas Vingegaard fourth, Joao Almeida fifth. Pidcock looking pretty good, holding off that surge from Jai Hindley. We'll also predict tomorrow's time trial, key time trial in the GC Stage 18. And Johan, before we get your thoughts on how the stage played out, I'll just go back and get people up to speed. The race started pretty simple. Race starts, breakaway goes. Visma says, we want to win the day with Jonas Vingegaard. So they hold that gap extremely tight. They get to the final climb. They catch the breakaway, time it perfectly. They're going up the climb. Jay Vine, whole UAE support team dropped pretty early. Joao Almeida's alone. But Jonas Vingegaard has multiple teammates. And then Tom Pidcock and Jai Hindley are like it was weird because the two top GC guys, Joao Almeida and Jonas Vingegaard, looked the weakest of the front group. Immediately was selected out to be Jai Hindley, Tom Pidcock, Jonas Vingegaard, Joao Almeida, and Ben Toulette. And also Matthew Riccatello, who's up there in the GC, but Ben Toulette offering key domestique work for Vingegaard, especially when the Pidcock-Hindley attacks were going. Vingegaard could just follow. There was a headwind on the climb, so it makes it easier to follow. Vingegaard could follow his teammate. Joao Almeida was alone, but he did get back into the group. And then when there was a calm moment, Giulio Pellizzari attacks Red Bull. What an advantage having two GC riders up there. He attacks, nobody wants to chase, rides to his first career professional victory. And then Tom Pidcock, after being attacked by Jai Hindley, looks really impressive. Comes over the line 16 seconds back, 2 seconds in front of Jai Hindley. So we're reversing the time losses he's been suffering. And then Jonas Vingegaard comes back 20 seconds behind Pellizzari, with Joao Almeida 2 seconds behind him. So these guys kind of look like they were limping through. Matthew Riccatello, 26 seconds back. Doesn't look like he's going to get the white jersey. Pellizzari looks too strong, but I guess we'll see in the time trial tomorrow. But Johan, what was your takeaway of the day from today's stage?
Yeah, well, takeaway of the day is that Visma, in my opinion, rode the whole stage to win the stage with Jonas. The proof, they kept it at 140, 150 all the time with two riders. Impressive. Wilco Kelderman and Dylan van Baarle have done, I don't know how much kilometers these guys have been riding on the front in this Vuelta, but it was clear that they wanted to win this stage. And once the selection is made amongst the favorites on this incredibly hard climb, the last climb, Alto de El Morredero, we see that Jonas has not attempted one single time, neither to win the stage or to drop Joao Almeida, who was in trouble at some point. So that confirms what we have been saying for a number of days now, that Jonas is, obviously he's in red, he's in the lead. It's highly likely he's going to win this Vuelta. But this is not the 100% Jonas Vingegaard. A Vingegaard who's in great shape. Even the Vingegaard from 2 years ago in the Vuelta, when Sepp Kuss won, would have, with that kind of shape, he would have attacked and dropped Almeida today when he was in trouble. He didn't. It was headwind on the last climb, but it was also very steep. So the wind is a bit less of a factor. But the wind was incredibly strong. There was actually reports this morning, rumors that it was so windy in the morning that they were actually considering of putting the finish line, when they were putting up the barriers in the morning early. They were debating whether they would put it 3 kilometers lower, just at the end of the extremely steep part, because you can see on the images, it was extremely open on top, and the wind was amazingly strong. So that's a bit what I take away. A part of course, the incredible victory for Giulio Pellizzari, we could talk about him a bit later. But I would say Jonas and Almeida. Almeida definitely not on a good day today. Limited the losses. I actually feared that Almeida would lose more time when I saw him getting dropped like on the lower slopes. When I guess that's when Jay Vine did his first attack. Almeida was in trouble, and he in his interview, he said that he knew that pace was too fast, that they would not be able to maintain that, and then he took his own pace, which he did. But I don't know. I feared that he would lose more time. He came back on his own pace, but was never able to make any attempt. And every time there was an acceleration, he was on the ropes. Jonas, not to the same degree, but in my opinion, he was also suffering. So the two big favorites were actually not the strongest guys of the lead group today.
Yeah, it was almost inverted, where the further down you are, the stronger you looked on the climb. I guess part of that is because you need to look. They needed to take time, but it's clear we're dealing with Jonas Vingegaard below his best, because with the time trial tomorrow going in, he's chipped back. He's got 50 seconds. Still, I mean, I think we talked about this. They've done, Almeida and Vingegaard have done this course before, this time trial course, 2023. I think Almeida took 28 seconds on him. So it's not, and Almeida's stronger now than he was then. So Vingegaard would have taken time if he could. As you said, they paced back the breakaway. They were going for the stage win. He just wasn't feeling good enough or strong enough to do it. I also thought, I was a little worried about Joao Almeida myself. I thought he looked okay, like pacing himself back. I thought he could have used a teammate, kind of like Jonas Vingegaard had with Ben Toulet. And if you're telling me that Jay Vine is not as good of a climber as Ben Toulet, I don't know if I'd believe you. So I think he should have been. You start to see the toll of these breakaways, I feel like.
For sure. I mean, that's also something that I remarked today, Spencer. I don't know if it would have made a big difference or not, but it cannot be that Visma has 4 riders and then Almeida is isolated. Soler and Ayuso were nowhere to be seen on that last, even in the lead up to that last climb, because they said the climb was 8.8 kilometers, but it actually started way before, like a 12K to go already. There was like a 2-kilometer steep climb where everybody got dropped. Ayuso got dropped way before that. I guess Soler got dropped on that stretch. And so Vine was still there, and Groschartner was still there, but they were in the back. And as soon as they got to the steep parts, I checked. Jay Vine lasted 800 meters on the last climb when it was 8.800 meters, 8 kilometers, 800. He was dropped at 8K to go. I think he spent so much already. I mean, the only guy that actually was always where he had to be, and probably today had a bit of a worse day, was Groschartner. He's always been next to Almeida. He's been amazing. But Jay Vine today should have been, he should have, if he didn't waste all the energy in the other stages, Visma was obviously in a better situation. Again, I repeat, on a steep climb like this, if you have the legs after 2 kilometers of really steep climb, then it's the 5-6 favorites, and there's nobody there. I mean, at the most, maybe Vingegaard could have Sepkus, maybe, right? And in that case, Groschartner and Jay Vine wouldn't be there anyway, because they're not in the 5-6 strongest guys.
Yeah.
But still, I think it's also a mental advantage if you see, hey, I'm now by myself. Everybody's on the limit, and there's still 3 of these yellow guys with the red guy, right?
Yeah.
It's not a good feeling.
Great pickup, Ben Toulet for Visma. Man,
yeah.
That guy riding himself into a different tax bracket, probably with these performances.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, we kind of brushed past it, but Giulio Pellizzari, 21 years old. If he sounds familiar, it's because at the 2020, I'd never heard of him before, 2024 Giro d'Italia, he is off the front. He's on the VF Group Bardiani CSF Fiazzani team. He's off the front. It looks like he's going to win a stage. It's a terrible day, terrible weather in the breakaway. And then Tadej Pogačar emerges from the GC group, mows him down, seems to pull back 30 seconds in the last 100 meters, wins the stage, gives him a jersey. And then he signs a World Tour contract, that's when he's 20 years old, then shows up to the Giro d'Italia this year, finishes 6th overall. This is his second Grand Tour of the year, and he wins a stage, one of the hardest mountain stages from the GC group. So super impressive from Pellizzari.
Yeah. As you say, first pro win, second Grand Tour already also, 6th in the Giro, now most likely going to be 5th. You know when his last victory was, Spencer, as a cyclist?
Oof, was it
2023, he won the last stage of the Tour de l'Avenir. Second he was escaped and he beat him in the sprint, Isaac del Toro.
Pretty good win.
Yeah. Third was Junior Lecerf, also here. There was
Archie Ryan was fifth.
Ryan was there, Jan Kristen. And then the final GC was Isaac del Toro, and second was Giulio Pellizzari. And fourth was Matteo Riccitello. So they meet again 2 years after. Riccitello was actually in the lead until the last day, I think.
Yeah.
And then Del Toro did an amazing ride. So yeah, obviously, listen, this guy, we spoke quite a bit about him, I think, in the second part of the Giro, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
That he looked like probably with the best three climbers of in the Giro in the second part of the Giro. Fun fact also, I heard today that Pellizzari, Del Toro, and Antonio Tiberi live in the same apartment building, everyone on one store in San Marino. They share the same agent. So the agent obviously has set up their residence there. San Marino is, a small independent country, which I think also has great tax advantages.
It must, yeah. I don't know if that's a coincidence that they all live there.
Yeah, so he may have been witness of the cat shooting.
Oh, so we wouldn't bring this up. Yeah, or we don't know what he knows about that crime, but that's the first thing I thought of when you said they shared an apartment building.
It's San Marino, yeah.
But this is kind of, if you just pull out a little bit, kind of like Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe has Giulio Pellizzari. Jai Hindley looks back. They also have, we don't remember him, but Florian Lipowitz, another young GC rider, and they're getting Remco Evenepoel, and they have Primož Roglic. Kind of it's an interesting conundrum they have next year with all these emerging GC talents.
It's not looking bad at all. Hindley obviously looks like he's back to his, when he won the Giro. I think he's on that kind of form probably.
Yeah.
And so, it's going to be interesting to see, between Hindley and Pidcock. The time trial tomorrow is going to be decisive, I think. That doesn't look like they can drop each other on the climbs, especially Pidcock today. Pidcock today was really, really good. He was very, very good. Hindley was good, but I think Pidcock looked amazing also.
Pidcock looked maybe the best I've ever seen him today. He was flying on that climb.
Yeah.
The gap's probably, at least for tomorrow, too big for Hindley to overcome Pidcock, I guess, if he takes time and then Pidcock has a bad day.
How much is it?
Well, it's 36 seconds, and Hindley is not an amazing time trialist. That would be a lot to make up tomorrow. The big one is Vingegaard 50 seconds in front of João Almeida, looking like he might be sick, frankly.
And then Almeida's not making up 50 seconds in 27 kilometers, Spencer. But if he gets a little chunk tomorrow, then it's actually all open until Saturday,
Yeah. Yeah. But if you're Wiesma, you're thinking, well, he doesn't really have a team to put us under pressure. I just I think this is showing like maybe they went a little crazy with the breakaways. We'll talk about it tomorrow, but Jay Vine's the second favorite. We'll talk about it when we talk about tomorrow, but Jay Vine's the second favorite for the time trial. So that's like predictive of anything. And they are actually using riders tomorrow in the time trial. That shows that they have no focus whatsoever on this GC because they need to be conserving everyone now to try to put Vingegaard under pressure. That's what
logic would say, right? But there's not so much logic anymore in today's cycling. Let's talk a bit about Matteo Riccatello. I think he did an amazing ride today. You know, at some point when it was going hard, Almeida was dropped. And there was only 4 riders left. So it was Hindley, Tom Pidcock, Jonas, and Matteo Riccatello. And then I think Almeida was with Pellizzari. Almeida brought Pellizzari back. But there it looked really good for him there. And, obviously the headwind hindered the collaboration a bit. First of all, Jonas did not collaborate once. And I think Hindley and Pidcock did most of the work or the attacks. I think unfortunately, I think that he made 2 mistakes today, Matteo Riccatello. First of all, when they were again those 5 or 6 riders together, he's one of the first ones who attacks after that getting together again. So. And it was still quite far. I mean, there was no way he would make it to the finish by himself. Maybe he was trying to put Pellizzari in trouble because he was dropped. You know, he had done that tempo for Hindley already, and then he got dropped, and then Almeida brought him back. That attack, I think, was a bit too overexcited, I would say. And then secondly, and he's actually said it in the interview also, but he should have reacted straight away, on Pellizzari. He had the legs to follow him.
Yeah. I mean, yes, easy for us to say, but he definitely should have because
easier said than done,
he is the most to lose by that. And once he was away, then he's with a bunch of people who don't care about reeling him in except for him. So then you're in a really bad position.
Well, he said that he thought, since Visma had been doing all the work, that Jonas would actually bring him back and try to win the stage. But, things change, once you get to that last climb and there's attacks, and then that's actually the first time you're close to your limit, right? If you're one of those favorites, it's only then that you can say, hey, okay, I don't have it today to attack and stay away,
Yeah, I think by then Jonas was in preservation mode.
Survival
mode. Hindley and Pidcock looking so strong. I think he was just holding on. It is pretty interesting. We're going into the last few days and our top 2 guys look this bad. I mean, like relative. Not what I expected at all. Yeah. So I am quite curious.
And also to come back, I mean, one last thing, Spencer, on Matteo Riccatello. I got this information that he was only added at the last moment to the Vuelta school. He actually did the Tour of Poland.
Yeah.
They were not going to take him to the Vuelta because he's leaving the team. I think it's public, that he goes to Decathlon AG2R.
I saw it in the Dutch media, so I guess it is public.
I think it's public information. And so they actually said they came up with some kind of explanation that the climbs in this Vuelta were not suited for him. I think it's going to be very difficult to find a better course than this year's Vuelta for a rider like Matteo Riccatello.
Yeah, you couldn't come up with a better course. No. And then he only gets on the start line because Derek G has the spat with the team at the last second. So then they have no choice but to bring Matthew. And now he's going to finish 7th, maybe 6th with Felix Gall is fading fast.
Yeah, so, we'll see. I mean, he's definitely top 10. So that's in top 10 in a Grand Tour. Easier said than done. There's not many riders who can say that after their career, they have top 10 classifications in Grand Tours.
No. I mean, if you look at this top 10, just not many, like Felix Gall that guy's fading. And so you could say Vingegaard as well. Like you can see the tour affecting, like having a fatigue effect on these guys.
For sure.
Not many riders from the tour doing that well here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the white jersey, this is interesting too. The white jersey, normally the white jersey the young jersey mimics the GC. We have Pellizzari first, Riccatello second, 1 minute and 8 seconds apart. Below them, Junior Lesurf, 8 minutes back. So big drop off. Then fourth is Abel Balderstone. Balderstone, 20 minutes back. And then if you go to 10th, it's Finlay Pickering, an hour, 15 minutes back. So it's actually like interesting to see the white jersey totally decoupled from the GC.
Yeah. And it's a 2-man race, it's a 2-man race. After today, I mean, initially I was kind of hopeful for Riccatello to get white, but after today, I think it's difficult, especially in Pellizzari now with this stage win, man. I mean, and so he's obviously in great shape. To do what he does after doing the work and the lead outs and the preparation for the attacks of Jay Hindley, is pretty impressive.
Yeah, it is impressive. I heard a pundit say before the race, like, oh, he's not a good climber. And I'm like, I don't know if that's true. And I think today proved that he is a pretty good climber, because that was a brutal climb.
Yeah, for sure.
No trees, because I live in an area that actually looks similar to the burn scar they rode through the day. And it was pretty bleak. I guess they didn't have a choice. It seemed safe to run it up there, but I was pretty shocked at the landscape today, Johan. I assume those are recent wildfires.
It looked really grim. I mean, I was not aware. I mean, I was aware there's been a lot of fires this summer in Spain. I mean, even close to my house, there was wildfires, and it's pretty scary. But there, I mean, it looked like half of the mountain burned.
Yeah.
And I did not remember. I mean, this morning I did some research, and I mean, it came back when I saw the results in 2006. I think that's actually one of the last times that they went up Alto Morredero. I don't know if the last time, but in 2006, our team Discovery Channel, we took back then it was the gold jersey. Before the red jersey was the gold jersey in the Vuelta. We took the gold jersey there with Jani Brajkovic 19 years ago already.
Wow.
Yeah, but I did not remember it was so open. I had a different vision about a different view of it in my mind.
Well, do you have anything else on the stage before we go to predict tomorrow's critical time trial?
Yeah, no, that's about it, Spencer. Yeah, I mean, luckily, the stage could go on today. No incidents. I have gotten information that for the last 2 stages in Madrid, so for Bola del Mundo, which is in the Madrid area, and then the last stage, that Madrid plans the highest security since the NATO summit in 2022, when it was in Spain. There's an extra 1,500 police and Guardia Civil agents that will be on duty for the last 2 stages. So it looks like, measures are being taken to preserve the safety of the riders and to do everything they can to have the Vuelta finish on Sunday evening in Madrid.
Yeah, I mean, today I think they were helped by it was so remote and so narrow. I don't think anyone could even get up there, and it's easy to keep people from going up to cause problems.
Yeah.
I kind of think the authorities have been a little lax on maybe
on Saturday, Sunday. I think the risk is extremely high. I've seen folders like how do you say that, like flyers?
Yeah,
where they actually
are advertising to
advertise the protests, and they they ask people to come.
I mean, and there's like I don't know. If they're too lax on it, and then you start to wonder like, well, anytime anyone has a grievance, do they just come shut down the final stage of a Grand Tour? Like, it's actually kind of a bleak future for professional cycling if anyone can just come out and shut the race down. It's so
fragile because it's open on open roads, and there's whatever 150, 200 kilometers of roads. You can't control everything, and it's accessible for everybody except some areas for start and finish. It could be difficult to get because you need credentials and stuff, but other than that, it's accessible that's also the popularity of the sport of cycling, of course, that it's accessible, it's free, and everybody can go. I think it's the only sport, in my opinion, where you actually can touch the riders. Or when you're in the mountains, you can hear them breathe.
Yeah.
And this is now obviously the weak point, of the Tour of Spain, that it's so accessible and anybody can. If you think about it, Spencer, okay, we have these protests and stuff, but if you think about it, in any big bike race, anybody, any champion, the yellow jersey in the Tour can be taken out at any moment by just one crazy person.
Well, haven't we seen
it has happened?
Matthew Van Der Poel's come under attack 2 years in a row at Roubaix.
In Paris-Roubaix,
right? Yeah. So
no, it's happened. Like we talked about Giuseppe Guerini on Alpe d'Huez in '99. I remember when I was a child, it was a major disaster in Belgium when Eddy Merckx got hit on his side by somebody, and then he had to abandon, I think, a few days later. So it's obviously it's the riders are not protected. They're in a bubble, of course, like the race cars in the front, and you have lots of police and security, and then you have the peloton, and then the cars behind it. It's a bubble of whatever it is, 5 minutes, 10 minutes of passing through, right? So that bubble moves, and it's impossible to have protection over the 5-6 hours of race all the time.
Well, I think it's going to be, we'll talk about this time trial. I'm a little worried about the time trial, but let's take a quick ad break and then we will get back with our predictions. Everybody, this episode is brought to you by Manukora Honey. Are you looking for something simple and delicious to add to your wellness routine? Well, look no further. I'm taking Manukora every morning, just a spoonful when I come down to watch my Vuelta stages. It is rich, creamy, and frankly, the most delicious honey I've ever had. It has a slight smoky taste, which I love. It's ethically produced by Manukora's master beekeepers in the remote forests of New Zealand. It contains powerful nutrients to support immunity and gut health, and the bees collect the nectar from the Manuka tea tree in New Zealand. The nectar is packed with bioactives, and the honey that is produced has 3 times more antioxidants and prebiotics than your average honey. A special antibacterial compound called MGO also comes from the nectar of the tea tree. Manukora third-party tests every single harvest for MGO and makes these results available through their QR system. It's a complete game changer. All you need is 1 heaped teaspoon each morning, like I'm doing, to get the most out of the amazing bioactives in Manuka. Additional usage throughout the day is completely fine, and in fact, it's encouraged because it helps you cut out other sweeteners. It's easier than ever to try Manukora honey. Head to manukora.com/themove to save up to 31%, plus get $25 worth of free gifts with the starter kit. It comes with an MGO 850 plus Manuka honey jar, 5 honey travel sticks, a wooden spoon, and a guidebook. That's manukora.com/themove to save 31% plus $25 worth of free gifts. All right, back to the episode. Everybody, this episode is brought to you by Fabric by Gerber Life. Running a household with kids is chaos. Podcasts, racing coverage, travel, it can be a lot. And while we plan for the day-to-day, the truth is you also need a plan for protecting your family if something unexpected ever happens to you. That's where Fabric by Gerber Life comes in. Fabric offers term life insurance you can get done today, made for busy parents like you. All online, all on your schedule, right from your couch. You could be covered in under 10 minutes with no health exam required. And here's the thing, if you're young and healthy, now is the time to lock those rates in. Even if you already have some coverage through your employer, that policy likely is not enough and it might not follow you if you switch jobs. Fabric makes it simple and affordable with flexible, high quality policies that can fit in your budget, like $1 million in coverage that for less than $1 a day. This is something I personally think about a lot, especially if you are a cyclist. We don't like to think about it. We don't like to talk about it. But if you have kids and you're out there on the roads, you might want to think about term life insurance so your family is covered. in case you don't come back. So join the thousands of parents who trust Fabric to help protect their family. Apply today in just minutes at meetfabric.com/themove. That's meetfabric.com/themove. MEET fabric.com/themove. Policies issued by Western Southern Life Assurance Company, not available in certain states. Prices subject to underwriting and health questions. So Johan, 27. Wait, do I have the right? Did they redo this? Hold on a second. This can't be right.
Well, now it's 27.
Wait, no. For safety reasons, the time trial has been shortened from 27 kilometers to 12 kilometers.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, wow.
Whoa.
That changes
Holy
everything.
Smokes. Everything.
Yeah.
So I was worried. I was just about to say, I'm really worried about this time trial. And so clearly was the Vuelta a España. They shorten it to 12K.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have a route? It looks like it's the same map. So we don't know where the 12K is, but we still have the little tiny climb, 500-meter climb, 7.5%. Fairly straightforward, but it is kind of technical. It's in a city, which also makes it harder to control the safety aspect because there's more people there. All this stuff, the favorites, this does change how we're going to approach everything. This is wild that this is happening live. Filippo Ganna, this is on FanDuel in the US, might be different on Unibet. Filippo Ganna minus 195, Jay Vine plus 500, Alec Sargent plus 900, Juan Ayuso plus 1100, Dan Houle plus 1400, Stefan Kung plus 2000, Joao Almeida plus 2500, Jonas Vingegaard plus 2500. Goes on and on and on. We'll call them out when we need to. If you want to bet, check out nxtbets.com/betoutcomes. You'll see where you can bet where you live and the best sign-up bonuses and prices on each book. Johan, who do you think is going to win this now shortened time trial?
Yeah, well, now that it's shorter even more. I was going to always pick Filippo Ganna, but from 27 kilometers to 12.2 kilometers, now I'm going to pick Filippo Ganna for sure. On Unibet, I got him at 176. Maybe it has changed now since they changed the route.
I'm going to put my bet in right now for him because I'm worried it's going to change because of that news. This should be like a layup for Ganna with this. Because actually I'm in Texas right now. Maybe I can't bet. But Ganna is, he should win this 12K. He's been waiting for this, assuming he's not carrying an injury or illness we don't know about. I'm going to go Ganna as well. He's minus 195 on FanDuel in the US. So that's what I'm going to get him at if I can.
I'm just checking here on Unibet, and right now they just took everything off, and I guess they're redoing the numbers.
Boy. Oh boy.
There's no odds up right now on Unibet.
Crazy
for the moment.
This is, what time is it in Madrid right now, Johan?
It's almost 10 p.m.
That is a late alteration to the course.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I just saw it came out 40 minutes ago. So that changes a lot. Of course, it's not safe yet for Jonas, right? But it's obviously the advantage Jonas. The less time kilometers, the less he's at risk to lose to Almeida if he loses at all, right? So I think this is definitely good for Jonas.
This is huge for Jonas. It's also huge for Tom Pidcock. A lot less surface area to lose your podium spot or lose the lead if you're Jonas Vingegaard.
Yeah,
I'm afraid this probably seals the Vuelta for Jonas. I'd assume they're going to.
Let's not underestimate the last stage, Spencer. It is in terms of vertical meters the most difficult one compared to, I think we said I think we said stage 3 or 4, but it's like 10 meters more on Saturday. They go two times up Navacerrada, and then the last time they keep going another 3 kilometers. The last 3 kilometers of Saturday stage are much harder of what we've seen today. Much harder.
The problem is if it's harder, Almeida and Vingegaard might get dropped together. I don't know if they're going to be leaving each other behind at this rate.
I don't think so. I still think they're the two best climbers. Hindley's looking.
Hindley looks good. Tom Pidcock looks good too. So if Ghana doesn't win, do you think there's a wild card on this shortened course?
I mean, I was going to pick someone, in case the wind changes or something, I mean, it's difficult to pick someone else. I mean, I see that Jay Vine was the second favorite. Honestly, Spencer, I cannot imagine, even now with the changed course and, the reduced distance, I cannot understand if, and tomorrow we'll probably talk about it, if UAE allows Jay Vine or anyone else on UAE except Joao Almeida to go full gas in the time trial. I do not understand this. Honestly, I do not understand. Tomorrow, the 7 other riders just need to take it easy and just, now even more than ever, it's all or nothing and on stage 20. So nobody of UAE should go full. I've heard people say that they think Juan Ayuso can win the time trial. I mean, that would be something. That
would be borderline unprofessional, though.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, like it should not be a surprise if it happens, right? I mean, it's But for me, it's just the fact that the team allows this. I mean, I would say, okay, guys, listen. This is the situation. We still have a chance to win. Tomorrow morning, they say to the riders, today, everybody except Joao has a rest day. Simple.
Yeah. I mean,
what do they care? I mean, today they won number 82. They won victory number 82. Isaac del Toro won Giro di Toscana in Italy. 82nd victory of the year. So I think it's safe to say they're going to get to 85. Pretty comfortably.
Yeah.
Someone wrote to me and said that he had heard that they want to win 100 races this year.
Well, that would explain this madness that we've been seeing. If they go hard in the time trial, I mean, it's just because they've been absent when actually Almeida's needed them. And then if they win, if one of them wins the time trial, that's not a good look for the team.
It would be stage win number 8.
Yeah. I mean, at some point it starts to look bad.
Yeah. It's so just anyway, because we have to pick another one, I'm going to pick Alex Segaert. He's plus 1,000, or he was plus 1,000 when I saw the odds. He starts pretty early also. And he's a pretty good time trialist. There's Pipo Ghana, there's Stefan Kung, there's Segaert, there's Dan Hoel. Those are the specialists, I would say, right? The specialist time trialists that are still in the race. So I think we're going to have, especially now that it's shortened, I think we should definitely pick one of those.
I'm going to pick someone that is on a different timeline than Ghana, because Ghana is 137th overall. Just in case the wind changes, like remember we saw Dan Hoel win an unexpected TT stage recently. I'm going to go Bruno Amoral plus 8,000. He got 4th at the first time trial in the Tour de France this year. He's 19th overall, so he will be going at a different time than Ghana. I'm going to go with him for my wild card, just in case something funky happens.
Yeah, it doesn't seem, Spencer, that the wind is going to be strong. And so it's here. On the information I have, it's 7 to 9 kilometers an hour. And it doesn't seem like the direction is going to change either, coming from the same direction. So I don't think that the change in wind will be a big factor. But you never know.
You never know.
App, so we don't know.
Well, then if you really want to start to play this out, to game this out, you start to, Ghana is actually maybe fine because he starts so early, but you start to think, well, if Ghana's disrupted by protesters or the stage starts and gets canceled halfway through, what do they do? Do they just Ghana's already gone? Is he going to be just no result?
Well, today, this is another thing we forgot to say. This morning, the riders met together with the organization, and there's a decision made that at any point if there's a protest and the race has to be shortened or shortened, the race is neutralized. There's not going to be a winner.
Okay.
This is a decision that was made this morning.
All right. So interesting. Well, man. So like, what if there's a flag sticking out? Ghana hits it, crashes. Does that constitute a protest?
No. It doesn't.
Yeah. So it might be smart to throw a little bit of money on someone that's not Ghana, because you just never know what's going to happen. This is one of the weirdest Grand Tours I've ever seen.
Yeah.
In terms of
very strange
variables. Yeah. Well, anything else, Johan, on tomorrow's stage?
Nope. I mean, short time trial. Wow, that's a bummer. I mean,
it is a bummer. It's a huge bummer. Especially if what if Jonas loses like 10 seconds? Oh man, like what would have been?
Yeah, I mean, let's say if it's a second per kilometer, could be 12 seconds. It could have been 30 seconds.
I know.
We don't know.
And then you're actually within. The thing is, if he would have taken 30 seconds back, he's 20 seconds down. Imagine he wins the final stage, then the gap actually doesn't have to be that big to overcome that. But now it's completely different because of this shortening.
Yeah, but anyway, that's just in the supposition. We suppose that Jonas is going to lose time. He can take time.
He could take time.
He's a good time trialist.
He has produced a few good time trials, you could say. I actually rode the 2023 TT course where he destroyed Pogačar, and it was shocking. It looks short when he does it. You're like, 40 minutes? What am I going to be, 42 minutes? And it is shocking how much slower you are and how long those courses are. So yeah, he's a pretty good time trialist.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Johan.
Okay, Spencer.
We'll be back tomorrow to talk tomorrow.